Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Gabor's Crypto. Today we are looking at your first steps in the decentralized world of cryptocurrencies. In today's approximately 10 minutes, we are going to cover a range of topics, including why bother with going decentralized first. Then we look at an introduction to different networks and smart contract platforms like Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Avalanche, and so on. Then we will set up a Metamask wallet on the Ethereum network, and we will talk about briefly wallets. And then I will show how to withdraw funds from a centralized exchange to your Metamask wallet. Then we will look at how to check that transaction on Etherscan, and we will have a little bit of sneak peek of the ecosystem within the Ethereum network. Let's get started. So, why bother with going decentralized? Well, really, there are like a couple of different ways you can make gains, make money in the crypto world. The first one, as you would probably know, is investing and holding on for dear life, or hodling. This is what most people do. They go to a centralized exchange, they buy some Bitcoin, Ethereum, or a coin that they've heard of from friends. This is the most common way. The second one is actually doing some more trading. So you sell and buy a lot more often. You think there is a gain coming in one of the coins, you just pick that, you buy it, and when it's reached a certain level, you sell it, or you cut your losses depending on how that trade went. Less people do it, but there are definitely people who made a lot of wealth in that. Some of them you can do with leverage, again, depending on what exchange you're using, but that is kind of the second most common way. So most people either invest and just hold on for dear life, or they start trading, selling and buying regularly. But there is a lot more to the crypto world, and these are kind of the next bullet points what you see here on the screen. If you move into the decentralized ecosystem, you can do a lot more staking. Staking actually you can do in the centralized world, like centralized exchanges as well, like Celsius. I think quite a few introducing some kind of staking mechanism where you can actually earn pretty decent interest on your cryptocurrencies. But you can do a lot more of that in the decentralized world. You can do yield farming. I will not talk about that, but pretty much you can provide liquidity for other people's trading. You can lend out your cryptocurrency, and there are pretty like you can make pretty decent gains with these things in the different networks that exist in the world. And we will cover what kind of networks exist in that decentralized world. And the next one is to participate pretty much very early in launching projects. So again, most of the things that you can buy in a centralized exchanges, those coins and cryptocurrencies, they have been around for quite a bit. But in an initial DEX offering, you can participate like if you're lucky in seed or private rounds, or in the public token launch. But those ones are in the decentralized ecosystems. Examples like if one of my friends, Tech Fanatic Official, running a pretty good video series of different IDOs. I would definitely recommend that. But there is a lot of money being made in that industry, in that field. There are other ways of making gains. You can be a key opinion leader, very rare. But if you look at some of the famous YouTubers, they probably make funds of that. Again, it's like famous musicians. A lot of people like, I like to make these videos. Obviously, I'm not a key opinion leader. I'm not a financial advisor either. I'm just doing it for entertainment and education. And the last category that I call is the builders or the builders. And this is really for developers. So if you followed like Ivan on Tech, he has an academy and he develops Moralis. And there is a lot of money being made to be a builder. So if you're a developer, or an engineer, or a wannabe engineer, definitely it's a good industry to get into. Yeah, if you're a tech fanatic, definitely worthwhile to learn either Rust, Solidity, whatever you do, but get into this blockchain development. So when you go out to this decentralized world, there are a lot of networks. There is Ethereum, there is Algorand, there is Avalanche, there is Polygon, there is Cardano, there is EOS, plenty of those. So if you look at again CoinGecko.com and you just filter on sorry, not on this, on categories, and you just put in smart contract platforms, there are plenty of those. And I like the analogy that I've heard in an Ask Me Anything session of like, imagine like these being cities with their own transit systems. So usually they have their own ecosystem, they have their own applications. So let's say Ethereum is probably the biggest network. And on Ethereum, there's a lot of different applications built. So there are lending platforms, there are decentralized exchanges. So imagine like a city. And there is, let's say, Cardano or Solana is like a different city with their own ecosystem, works somewhat differently. And they have their own platforms, they have their own lending and decentralized exchanges, games. They work slightly differently. Or there is, let's say, Ethereum had a few problems, so there were a lot of what they call layer 2 solutions created to solve that problem. And again, this is a little bit of history. So if you probably heard of Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is not a smart contract platform. It's just a simple decentralized ledger acting like as a digital gold. And I will not go into that because it's a completely different session. These new projects, they are smarter than Bitcoin, but they are good for a different application. And these smart networks, they all work slightly differently. Ethereum at the moment, it's a proof of work consensus algorithm, very high energy uses, but they are moving to Ethereum 2.0, which is proof of stake, very slightly different. Then you have like layer 2 that I started talking about. So layer 2 is kind of built on Ethereum, but more scalable, and you have like lower fees than Ethereum, like Polygon, which is kind of my favorite network. But you have lots and lots of others. So if you just go into smart contract platform, you see Phantom, which did fantastically from a trading perspective. EOS had like a really big promise back in 2018. You have Neo, which was considered a Chinese smart contract platform, the Chinese Ethereum, but there are plenty of others. Which one will win? So a lot of people, when they think of which is Ethereum better, or is Cardano better, or is Solana the Ethereum killer? I like to look at again as cities. So cities grow and cities get smaller, but they all have a place in this whole ecosystem. And again, if you're a beginner and I say things like this, and if you're not familiar, that's fine, because now we will go through how to get your money into one of these ecosystems. And again, if I use that analogy, the future of blockchain is cross-chain. So these cities, while they have their own ecosystems, they will be connected in the future, but we are very early days. So that's the exciting part. No one knows which network will be the biggest ever. Right now it's Ethereum, followed by Cardano and Solana. But there are, they are growing. There will be new ones popping up. And again, which exchange will be the winner? We don't know. But the future of blockchain is cross-chain. But today, I'm going to show how to get your money from a centralized exchange to a decentralized world. If you remember, in a centralized exchange, something like Coinbase or Binance, you have your own account, and that company, like a central bank, managing that account for you. They are the ones managing the money. You give an order, and they fulfill the order. In the decentralized world, you have all the responsibility. And for that, you need to set up your own wallet. So this is a wallet that only you have access to. And to do that, we will go to Metamask.io. That's kind of one of the most popular wallets that exist. There are plenty of others. I will show you Metamask. To do that, again, just go to Metamask.io. And you can download it as an extension to your browser. So what I will go to do here, I just go to download, and I'm using Firefox here. So all I do is install Metamask for Firefox. Very simple to do. If you have Chrome, you can do the same way. Just go to metamask.io. and you will need to set that up. So Metamask was added. I will not allow it for this moment, and it will appear there. Whether you use Chrome or Firefox, it will be there, that nice little fox. And once you start with Metamask, obviously you need to get started. You can either have one existing, but I assume that you're a new one, so you need to create your own wallet. This will create a new wallet and a secret recovery phrase. I will not show this step because I don't want that 12-word passphrase, recovery phrase, to be shown, but make sure when you create it, you write that 12 words down and keep it in a very, very secure place. If someone has access to that, they will have access to your wallet. So after you create, it will go to help us improve MetaMask, and you can agree or not agree. I will agree. And it will ask to have a new password, minimum 8 characters. Use a securely generated password. I will not use this one. I will just create a new password. So once you get that 12 words in and it verifies that you actually have it saved somewhere, then you are done and you have your own wallet. And this is how it will look like. You can also have a look at it here. I will just close this image. So you will have account 1, you can rename it, and it will have a public address. So that public address will be important because this will be your wallet address. There you can send all your cryptos to, sorry, not all of the cryptos. You can send here the ERC20 tokens, and we will talk about that, what that is. If you remember, we bought Ethereum on that platform. You can send that Ethereum to this address. But if you bought Bitcoin, Bitcoin is not on the Ethereum network, at least not in its normal format, so you cannot send Bitcoin to the Ethereum network. One of the most important things to look after, to make sure when you send from a centralized exchange to a decentralized wallet, then to the decentralized wallet to your wallet, that you send to the right network and only can send the right tokens. So Ethereum, you can send from your centralized exchange to your wallet, to MetaMask wallet, on the Ethereum mainnet, what you can see here, but you cannot send your Bitcoin to this address. All right, so very important. And what I'm going to do now, I will go to the centralized exchange. In this example, I use Coinbase, but you can use your own. And you go into your wallet, and I will hide some of the information here because it shows parts of my credit card number, which I don't want to show. And from here, I can send all of my Ethereum to this address that I just copied. So what I need to do here, I just paste this address in, what I had in Metamask, again, just to show you have the Metamask here. If you don't see it, you can always just go into your Fox here in the top right corner. You can copy from here. And if you want to have the big view, you can just expand the view, and then you have this whole view. So you go here, copy to clipboard, and in your in your centralized account, you can send, in some instances, it's called withdraw. So you can select all of your tokens and you can withdraw to this address. And you want to pay with Ethereum. Some of the exchanges provide another option that you can select what network you send it to. So in this example, I use the ERC20 or Ethereum network. There are other popular options are the Binance Smart Chain, which is kind of a different network that uses BEP20. But if you're a beginner, at the moment, I just show ERC20. And when I continue, it will tell me that, hey, this is how much you want to transfer. It will have some kind of fee. Another small note here, because I made some money here over my $1,000, I actually have to pay capital gains tax in Australia. So I will have an extra income of $146. And I send now. Right now, as it shows, I'm sending this amount to that wallet that we just created. So that wallet didn't exist 10 minutes ago, but now it exists. And this transaction usually takes less than 10 minutes, which is great. What I can do, and this one is really good, I can actually check this transaction on the web. So I can check pretty much any wallet address, what's happening there. Interesting enough, I didn't have to wait that 10 minutes. So after I went back to this MetaMask account, it already shows up here. And I can check this address on Etherscan. So Etherscan is a website where you can see all the transactions on the Ethereum network. And what I'm looking at, this is a newly created address, as you know, and this is the only transactions that were there. So I can see who sent to, it is coming from Coinbase to this address that we created. This is the amount, and that was the transaction fee. So I'm pretty happy. It's already successful. The money is there. What's next now? As I promised, I will show a little bit of sneak peek to the Ethereum network and its ecosystem. So now that I have this Ether in my wallet, I can go and do a number of things. I could lend it out. I can swap it for other tokens. As the first step, I will go to the Uniswap DEX, decentralized exchange. Here I can swap this Ether token to something else, or I can put it to a liquidity pool. I will show that later, not today. And to swap, first of all, I need to connect my wallet. So I just click on connect to a wallet. I am using Metamask wallet, but as you can see, there are a couple of others as well. And what it will ask me, can I connect to this account? I said yes. They will be able to view the addresses of the permitted accounts, which is required. So I can say, yep, connect. It's connecting, and it immediately sees my balance, which is around $800 US, 1,100 Australian dollars. So let's say I want to swap some of it because I've heard, let's say 0.12, so I bought $400 US. I want to buy something. Let's say, I'm just picking one I will not, let's say I want to convert half of it to a DAI stable coin. It will actually calculate the price, and I could swap this right now. I will not swap it. I will click on swap. I will not swap it. But what I wanted to show you, it tells me, again, confirming the transaction. Actually, it will ask me in the Metamask extension for approving these transactions. And what you can see, and one of the biggest difficulty with the Ethereum network, is that I'm trying to exchange 0.12 Ethereum. However, there is a transaction fee, also known as gas fee, which is 0.017344 at this very moment. So that would be a $61 transaction fee, which is huge. If you think about it, I'm trying to swap $400 of Ethereum to $400 value of something else, and I have to pay a transaction of $50 to $60, which is huge, and I definitely don't want to pay that. And that's one of the biggest problems with the Ethereum network right now, these huge transaction fees. If I want to do, if I have like $10,000, probably I don't care. But if I just want to swap tokens, this is just too high of a fee. That's one of the biggest problems right now with Ethereum. So I will reject it. But this is what you could do. In this decentralized world, you can do a lot of different financial applications. You can lend and borrow. You can do stake your money. You can provide liquidity for others to trade with, and you get some money on return. I will show you that for a brief moment. So in a pool, you can provide liquidity. Actually, I cannot show because I have only Ethereum, but you can provide liquidity for like different pairs. So if I put here new position, I would need to select a pair, Ethereum and something else. So let's say Ethereum and USDC. And I would get some of the fee from the trade. So if I provide both Ethereum and USDC into what they call liquidity pool, and people trade for Ethereum for USDC or the other way around, you can earn on those transaction fees. And in Aave, we showed you can lend and borrow. Why I didn't show a specific application of that is because the fees, the gas fees or transaction fees, are very high on the Ethereum network. So in the next session, actually, I will show you Polygon, where you have pretty much virtually gas-free. So the transaction fees are very, very, very low. And with that in mind, just a little bit of summary of today. So the decentralized world gives you access to a lot more in the crypto world. So it's just a lot more to crypto than just investing and hodling or trading. There are different networks. As you remember, they are like small towns with their own, big towns with their own ecosystem. and they all have their advantages and disadvantages. You need to create your own wallet, and there is no customer support at all. So if someone knows that 12-word recovery phase for your Metamask wallet, they have access to all of your money. So you are responsible to manage your own wallet. And we showed how to withdraw money from a centralized exchange to a decentralized into your wallet. And what I showed you, just a very sneak peek, but there's a huge ecosystem pretty much for each network. And today we had a look at Uniswap and Aave just very briefly. And in the next session, we'll look at the Polygon Polygon network. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. And of course, see you next time. Bye-bye.